Are we even mentally prepared as a society anymore? Maybe our grandparents had it right because, back in the day, they knew how to build community. And this is something I want you all to think about because nobody is saying this. We have always been taught how to prepare for storms, tornadoes, and emergencies. We have always been told, get some water, make sure you have your pantry filled, make sure you have batteries. But Americans have never been taught this because when people start talking about attacks, don't nobody know what that looked like. And nobody ever thought about what if these attacks and what if war starts happening on American soil. Yeah, we've seen it happen in other countries. We watched it on TV. But what if it happens here? We haven't been prepared for that. And I'm talking about Americans as a whole because I know there are some people who really know how to prepare. Let's be honest, y'all. Most of us don't even know who we live by. We don't even know our neighbors. But back in the day, our grandparents, they knew everybody in the community. Some of us don't even care to know our neighbors. If attacks start happening here, how would you evacuate your family? What's your strategy? What's your plan? I want y'all to think about something. Let's go back to the RMS Titanic because, people were saying that this ship was unsinkable. People really put their trust in that technology back then. They thought that nothing could happen to this ship. And what happened? We have to know that even the most strongest person can be taken down. Things that we think that are strong can become vulnerable too, just like America. Nobody wants to see that happens because I love America. But we still have to stay watchful and vigilant, and we have to stay prepared. We didn't grow up. I know in my childhood, I have never seen war here. I have never experienced the sounds of war. The things dropping out of the sky. I've never seen that, but I saw it on TV. We had isolated things to happen like 9/11 and other events to happen, but we've never seen it like people in other countries have seen. And that really gives us a sense of protection. But we got to know that no nation, no country is immune to disruption. And that's why I said maybe, our grandparents had it right because they knew what community was. They took care of the people in their neighborhoods. They knew their names. Families used to help each other out. They didn't even have to like each other, but they were going to let each other know information. But now, everybody just in their own world. I see adults, they be walking around with their heads down, they on their phone, they're not paying attention to what's around them. That's why I tell my daughter all the time, don't be walking around looking at that phone. Pay attention to what's going on around you. You don't know who's watching you. People are not even prepared when they get in their cars. They don't have their keys ready. They're just fumbling. They're not aware of who's watching, who's around. We can't allow people to catch us off guard. We have to be prepared, y'all. That's all I'm saying in this message. And I want you all to put in the comments some things that you are doing to protect yourself. Because some of you have probably already seen the writing on the wall. You all are already getting prepared because a lot of you all can see deeper than the average person. So be helpful to the community and share what you're doing to be prepared. I really think it's a design by the system to keep everybody isolated and separate and to have conflict with each other because we have so many groups and division here in the US. The enemy can thrive in a place of division. That's why I say our grandparents had it right. They helped each other. They didn't isolate anybody. But now you'll be counseled fast, but just by having a different belief. And that's why I have my faith. I believe in God. I pray. Some of the things that's going to happen is just out of our control. We have to lean on a higher power. And for me, it's God, God Almighty. That's who I have to put my trust in. But He also gave us a mind to think. And so we have to be prepared and we have to know that we can become vulnerable too. Because here's the thing, everybody is saying stock up on food, be prepared, have enough water. But maybe the deeper question is this: are we even mentally prepared as a society anymore? Do we know how to respond together if something like this happens? If something serious happens? Because just like I said, I think it's a design of the system to keep us divided, keep us tired, going to work 9 to 5, working 40, 60 hours a week, no rest, to keep us in the sunken place. So I'm curious, if something was to happen on American soil, how are you going to prepare your family? How are you going to evacuate? What are you doing to stay prepared? And I'm at home today. I thought I'll talk to you all at home because you all know how my schedule is. This war right now is affecting gas, so I got to gas up in the morning. Gas continues to climb. Prices and gas starts going up. But we also have to think about emergency preparedness, just like we do when there's a storm, when there's a power outage. How are we going to be mentally prepared? But that's it, you guys. And I look forward to talking to you all in the comments.